Hi, welcome to our reaction of episode 6, Detained Class.
A detained class.
Yeah, it was a detained class in detention.
Was.
Basically it's like a 50% off midnight of Doctor Who.
Kind of. Except for there's more of this whole truth aspect to it.
Yeah,
And
no, well, it was a
stuff.
bit different, but it was basically the same kind of setup, really.
It was pretty much the same setup. And I have to say, this one didn't keep my interest as long as Midnight did.
No, yeah. I mean, I wanted to be interested, but I mean, with my DVD arriving early, I was finding it a lot harder to concentrate, to be honest.
Nah. I watched it relatively early this morning. Yeah, I was quite excited to watch it. Actually, the night before, I'd been sitting down and watching the Carnival of Monsters because I felt like it, and watching something else. So I sat down to watch this, and for the first 20 minutes or so, it kept me engaged. Oh, they're finding out truths about people. It's actually quite intriguing and stuff.
That was good. Yeah,
it was, and the interaction between them works. But then they start repeating the same points.
Yeah,
and then they start dragging on, and then by the end of it, you're just kind of, this should have ended 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and it was already a shorter episode. It was only like 42 minutes or something. It was like quite short, and like some have been, 50 minutes, 45.
I didn't even notice.
It was one of the shorter, yet it's still kind of I dragged a little. It's because they tried the same tropes, and even though it was unveiling this small information at a time, it wasn't intriguing enough to make me care, and we still didn't really find out about who the villain trapped in the rock was. There was lots of kind of.
It's true.
It just didn't really 100% work. Plus,
one thing. Continue. Sorry.
My biggest kind of thing with it, out of all the truths, is the Ram and April. I think it's the wrong way round. Surely it should be April falling for Ram way too quickly, and then Ram being a bit more unsure, because Ram had a girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah.
And, Ram liked her a lot. Come on, he was so traumatized over her. Every time she showed up, he was, panic attack, stuff like that. April has never had anybody before. So that's the first boyfriend she's had. The first person she's slept with. Those people, you're more likely going to become obsessed and think, oh, they're the one, when it's your first.
I'd agree to some extent, though I will also say that, to be fair, with the whole girlfriend thing, maybe that left more of a void in his heart compared to April, who, of course, didn't have something before, a feeling, which she did now. Ram might have just been a bit more, open to someone to
had enough of just maybe actually trying to settle down kind of thing. But there's only...
he does mention in previous episodes how April was the one who kind of comforted him about the death and all that.
The thing is, no, she didn't. It was
in some ways.
It was way more Tanya.
It was, but yeah, in many ways.
Yeah,
that was over a Skype call though, mainly. April did it more in person.
Yeah, that's true. But so.
Actually, on the topic of Tanya, in this episode, she actually does something.
Yes!
I actually enjoy her in this story.
I was thinking, hey, Tanya, actually...
They finally made some good use of her.
Doing some physics on the board and actually working out a lot of it.
She was the voice of reason this episode. When everyone else was going off the deep end, she was the only one who kind of kept level, as it were. Everybody was freaking out or... going all straight. She was the only one who was able to kind of see past it, despite having a couple of moments where she kind of got angry. But
then,
she had an important part of this episode. And, I think probably she got the most lines, and generally kind of drove it along the most. To be honest.
Yeah. See, I think though this story with the truth thing, I think that would have been really good actually as a Doctor Who story, like with the Doctor, because I think that would have been quite good, really.
Though in other ways, like, because you'd have to pass it around to people. If the Doctor has one companion like usual, that's not a lot of truth.
Well, no, they'd have to be other people there, but then they'd slowly be learning the truth, kind of like a Hateful Eight kind of thing, which is the Quentin Tarantino cowboy one.
You know, that would be interesting if they had like a room of former companions.
Oh yeah, well that would be weird. But I think they should do a better story if they were going to do that.
I kind of like the single room approach to it.
It was directed well by Wayne Chi-yup, I think is how it's pronounced. But the one thing which is the problem is that the style has changed. So the first 3 episodes by Ed Bazalgette were very much light orientated, as we've said before. Then Philippa Langdale, that it went more, it was all at daytime, so it was very less, using the light. And then this one really could have, it was kind of in the middle. It was like in between, but it wasn't using shadows as much.
I'm used to wanting to note out like a lot of the shadows, and I didn't really notice much of it here, mainly because they were stuck in a void and there wasn't a lot of like uses of it. I mean, I think at some point the light kind of dims, doesn't it?
Perhaps. Yeah, but I mean, like,
it's not a lot.
It wasn't really.
Isn't.
Yeah.
Class's trademark lighting is kind of gone.
Yeah, I really like that trademark lighting. But
it made it feel distinct, but now it just feels, in terms of looking at it visually, it feels a lot more like any other show. Really, the shadows kind of gave it its visual identity in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
it's a shame. It is a shame. To be honest, the most I take out of this story is more the ending and looking forward to next week, to be honest with you.
Next week looks great.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, first off, the fact that they're doing kind of this happened at the same time kind of situation. Which I really like.
I like it, yeah. I do like that a lot.
Second off, that story looks a heck of a lot more interesting than this one. Yeah, in most series, with that kind of the way they did it, it would have just left it like that. Oh, I was doing this cooler story, but you'll never get to see it.
Yeah.
But they're actually showing us this one, and like, I much would rather see that episode than them being stuck in a room for 40 minutes.
That was the cheap episode of the series. The one where it's like, all in one room, keep it low budget, and then the big budget is spent on the last 2. And next week, that looks so good. And the other thing I do like about Detained, this story, is that at the end they don't all make up. They still have all kind of fallen out a bit, and their friendships are all very much still in the balance. That's good, because that means when we come back to the group after next week's episode for the finale on December 3rd, The Lost, hopefully it'll be like a kind of. Yeah, we'll see. And yes,
or they could cop out and just say, "Oh, it's just the room making them angry. They're all fine now."
No, because they would have done that at the very end if it had been that rubbish. Yeah,
to be fair, they all kind of wandered out kind of stroppily.
I was glad that they didn't do that. Oh, well, it was The Rock. Oh, no, there was actually consequences to all the truthing. One thing which I feel like has been, after all the kind of. But like before Class came out, it was like, doing it at the same time as A-levels and stuff. They haven't really kind of, I thought they were going to go more on, I can't like stop this alien threat right now, I need to study for this exam kind of thing.
Yeah, they haven't done a lot with the school idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
They've ignored that. They have completely ignored that.
Like, they've got the teenage life right, but they've completely missed out the school part. And the problem is that they've made them all smart. They need someone like Ram, who's only just, the scraper, but who needs to keep trying to...
But no, he's smart too.
Yeah, to keep doing it.
And, like, you don't see a lot of, like... Because Ram's supposed to still play football, which we don't see anymore. April very rarely does the violin stuff anymore, either. Like, we don't even get to see a lot of their personal lives. We just get to see them in the moment, as it were, kind of.
Yeah, and yeah, we just didn't see any, like, I was just expecting a lot more based, at the school, like, even more Sarah Jane adventures did at some points. Like, just like,
See more conspiracies about the school. Like, I guess now they got the whole, like, headmistress thing, but it's, like, not a lot to it, is it?
they're not spending
really?
much time actually at school.
No.
Which was kind of...
For a series called Class, minus this episode, they haven't spent a lot of time in the class.
Yeah, they kind of just a bit around the school, but I mean the only actual episodes there's only for Tonight We Might Die, which was that was right at the school, being at the school. Then a Coach for 2, then Night Visiting was mainly at Tanya's. Then there was a co-owner and Bravish Heart, which there was small scenes at the school but barely counted because it was a weekend. And then Detained, which has been in one room, I guess. Cool, Oh yeah, also why wasn't the boyfriend in like all the material? Because he's been in it way too much to not be counted as
He is a main character.
Yeah.
He is. And he's a very important part of what has been happening with Charlie's story arc. Like,
I just find it confusing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
how is he not main cast? He, even on the Wikipedia page, is coming under recurring. Like, what?
He is a main character. Come on.
Yeah, it's silly.
It really is. It really is. Like, there's only one episode he hasn't featured in.
Yeah, and
only one. And he's been an important part of most episodes he's featured in, or at least, like, done something important. Like, sometimes more than some of the main cast.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably had maybe almost as equal as amount time as Quill until next week.
In this episode, he was the first one to pick up the rock.
Yeah, I just don't get why he wasn't kind of advertised as one of a group. I just
no idea.
Find it odd. I find it odd, but yeah. One thing I'd like to touch on. So I think the build-up of anger was good, and like when Ram and the boyfriend, what is his actual name?
It was,
Matt.
Well, it's not so much that I don't remember exactly. It's just it's quite hard to pronounce, or quite hard to consistently pronounce, which is why I just prefer to understand.
If you keep it short, it's just Matt. We'll just do his shorter one. Matt, the boyfriend, and Ram have a fight, and that's like, when they started getting physical. I think they should have done that about at the halfway point, and then got it to, until they were literally having to sit in like 4 different corners and one person in the middle just to stay away from each other. I think they should have really ramped up the kind of violent side of the fights, because that would have made it even the split at the end even harder. Like, oh no, everybody's splitting up and stuff. I felt like the weird rock just trying to take him in at the end was a bit random.
Oh yeah, that was odd.
Oh well, I don't have anybody in my prison now, so I'm just gonna latch onto the closest guilty person. What happens if it was in a room and there was just one person stole an ice cream once or something, so then you're trapped for eternity because you're the guiltiest.
Guilty.
But I just stole a chocolate chip. Guilty. It just like grabs your leg.
Or instead of this Quill coming around the corner, it was like the Doctor, and it just instantly got him.
Yeah. See, that's why I think it would have worked, because the Doctor would have been guilty. So yeah, it would have worked. I think it would have worked maybe a little better in Doctor Who, or they should have gone a bit more. I think they were a bit too tame. I think that's what it was. They were too tame with all the.
Again, like, another thing they dropped after the first few episodes was more of the gore of it. They haven't... I mean, not that I'd expect, like, much gore in this story from what it has been, but, like, that's just a thing I noticed. Like, I guess in this episode, his nose bled, and his eyes
bled. Don't forget the eyes. Yeah.
He's crying blood.
Yeah, see, episodes 1 and 2, it was like blood, and then it's gone. It's gone.
Everything that made it distinct from Doctor Who was slowly whittled away, really, minus the whole, being set on Earth, the many main characters and stuff. But
I mean, it's still a good show, and we're
still
not
distinct
saying
enough, and I'm still enjoying a lot of the episodes. But
we're just saying it's kind of what
it's lost part of its identity really over time. Like
yeah, it's kind of changing, and I kind of preferred what it was.
Yeah.
Rather than what it's kind of become. But hopefully next week with Quill, full episode for Quill. Come on, Catherine Kelly. It looks so good, and I'm just excited to just get her by herself. And they've removed the creature, which I think is a great move. I think that's really good.
They probably continued on with that, and yeah, it is a great move. We'll see how that progresses, but we're not going to find out its consequences, or the consequences of anything, to be honest, for another 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, but I don't care. Because
I don't care, because, like, yeah,
I'm happy. I'm happy. The next 2 episodes, it's setting up. I think Detained was more setting up the finale and next week rather than... Yeah. But it's kind of odd having a 2-parter in the middle of the series with the Low Order, a Bravish Heart, and then a kind of... I guess this is kind of a 3-parter, Detained, but then it's kind of like a 2-parter because Detained and next week's, which is all what Quill did, the end part. I'm just going to say because the metaphysical engine, or what Quill did, is the entire title, and I'm just going to do what Quill did because it's just quicker to say. But like Detained and what Quill did like happen at the same time. So it's like a 2-parter, but it's a 3-parter, and it's so confusing. But yeah, there's just not much really to say about Detained until we actually do a full review about it. Because there's just
how long that'll take.
Not much happens. It'll probably be a few years, to be fair.
Yeah. If not beyond, like, because we might need time really for this to settle.
I think you need time for them to mellow in our brains, so we can look back and go, yeah, or
especially if there is like a few more seasons, which we don't know if there will be. We have no idea.
As of yet, we don't know, but I'm sure we'll probably get a second one.
I will see. I think it would depend on how this ends, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they'll. It depends on how they conclude this, and also, like, I think it will also depend on like some of the actors and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, well, I'm pretty sure
because of course they're young. They're going to be wanting to, progress their careers. They've just started. I mean, this is definitely a very good point to be at. But like,
yeah, I mean,
whether or not they'll want to stick around with this for too long.
I would think that probably maybe some would want to leave after series 2. Like some maybe, and all they do is, oh, my family's moving away, boy, and then they just leave,
That was like the Sarah Jane.
Yeah,
version.
just do it that way. That's the easiest way in school, or like Ram's dad's like, no, you're not fighting aliens anymore, leave, and they do, They could work it in, and then you just get someone else to come in, and then pretend they're not a main cast when they are.
Dram. Totally not.
Duran. Or no, sheep, because we've had a ram, so yeah, we need sheep.
Ram, sheep, goat.
Hey guys, and like he just walks it like a goat, just enters the room. A talking goat.
I hope you don't mind if I sit down here.
And it just like takes a shit on the floor. That's
when we know class has gone off the deep end.
Yeah, that's when class is just running out of ideas. Brilliant. Well, it's not like I'd say it's like not disappointed, but it's definitely not what I thought it would be. It's kind of the first 2 episodes. It was like, yeah, this is what I thought it would be, and now it's not as much as what I thought it would be. Like, where's the gore, dudes?
Where's it gone? Where's the lighting?
Yeah, well, the thing is, this lighting's very much a directing thing, so I mean, we can answer that one, but the gore, we want an answer, what's happening with that, Don't advertise. False advertisation. I came here to be, Game of Thrones out, and I got Sarah Jane Adventures. No, I didn't. I got to think of something semi-gory. Like Harry Potter. That's about the level of gore. Yeah.
Or Doctor Who.
No, we never get like blood and Doctor Who. The Spider-Man, there we go. Like
we do sometimes. On occasion.
Yeah. Okay, like like Civil War, like that kind of blood, like a bit but not much, it's okay, but I wanted kind of between Marvel and Game of Thrones, kind of in the middle, a nice bit of I mean, Bravish Heart had a bit with the evil blossoms, but I mean, it wasn't. We only saw 2 bodies as we mentioned last week, and it felt it had no weight to it.
We didn't actually see them get eaten.
No, we just saw like here he is falling over. Here's his corpse later. It was like an Ainsley Harriott. Here's one I prefer. Here's one I prepared earlier, kind of thing. Blue Peter. That's it. And here's a dead body I prepared earlier. Yeah. But
Press from out in the street.
I'm not complaining. It's filled the void which Doctor Who left this year, which is kind of refreshing. No Doctor Who, hopefully, yeah.
I've been watching enough classic episodes where it would have been fulfilled regardless.
Oh, I love classic Who. But anyway, yes, we need to sign off. So we'll see you guys next week if you do listen to these on weekly, which well done if you managed to listen to us ramble on. I think we get some good points, I hope. Occasionally, or some hilarious sheep and goat stuff. But yes, so we'll see you next week for The Metaphysical Engine, or What Quill Did, which sheds on the 26th of November, which is the next Saturday after this one, which we're so yeah, we'll see you or not. Then you
or it might be late, or it might be on time.
Yeah.
You can never tell with us, Our upload schedule is not going to be consistent. Just a fair warning in terms of like it would be within the 3 days at least. When class
it shouldn't be. Yeah,
but we can't consistently like meet up like every like evening on that day or like every morning on that day, etc.
It's tough, but we do it for you guys.
Life is life.
So respect us and give us your money and time.
Give us your money.
Yeah.
Give it to us now,
please.
Ball in your house.
Yeah, well, we know where you live, kind of, not really, but
vaguely.
It's like it's on Earth, okay, and then
which I think is in the. Is that in the Milky Way or is that in the Galaxy?
Galaxy 4? Is it Galaxy 4?
Is it?
It's one of those 2.
Yeah. Are you a Chumley?
No, I'm a Javanian. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Javanian? I'm not even going to try. Anyway, so we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Oh, wow, you didn't do it. Well, that's our signature sign-off, Conrad, and you don't. That's just rude.
But I just said bye.
Rude. It's boy! Rude.
Bye.
Bay. Okay, bye.
Bye.